Hello everyone, I have the long-awaited binder maintenance / Q&A video for you today. So I have some of my binders here. I have some fillers that I made. And I have some of the questions that people asked here. Hopefully I have them all. And if I miss yours, I'm so sorry. I'll try to answer them somewhere else. So yeah, let's get into the video. I'm gonna start with my honeybunn binder here. And I'll be answering the questions throughout the video. Starting with honeybunn, I wanted to rearrange some of these setups, and then I'll be splitting this collection into two. Oh, if anyone has any ideas for a better manifesto layout, please let me know, because I don't like how this currently is. I like my 9 pockets per member. And this is also this is a lot of pages, but I haven't figured out a better way to store them. But if anyone has any ideas, let me know. Okay, here in Orange Bud, I was thinking, I think I want to rearrange this to have the Polaroid in the middle. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, why not? So my first question is, how old are you and where are you from? I am 24 years old. I am in California, hence why I go to most of the California K-pop events. And next question, what got you into K-pop? So my first introduction to K-pop was in 2014. I had a friend who was really into K-pop, and I was like, okay, sounds fun, let's give this a try. So I went home and I got onto YouTube and I typed in K-pop into the search bar, and YouTube gave me a playlist of a bunch of K-pop music videos. So I started watching the videos on the playlist, and I just kind of went down, and it was completely overwhelming. So eventually I decided, okay, let's stick with a group. So I don't remember how I chose, but I picked one of the groups from that playlist, and I tried watching specific content of them or their specific music. However, K-pop was the way it was back in 2014. So content with English subtitles was hard to come by, or maybe I think I could have just been doing it wrong. But I have like very clear memories of watching, I think it was like a show of them or something, or it was just like a mini series of this group, but I have no idea who that group is. It didn't stick, and my attempts to get into K-pop kind of just failed. Like, it was just too much for me. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who these people are. So I gave up quite immediately. But I would give anything to know who that group was and what I was watching. So anyway, that doesn't answer the question, but that is was my first introduction to K-pop. What got me into K-pop was a roommate from college. When she moved in to our apartment, she put up a bunch of like pictures on her wall, and they were like very like aesthetic-y pictures, and she snuck a picture of BTS into the middle. And I'm not sure if she was trying to be subtle, but it was not subtle. And every time I walked into her room, I was like, I wonder who this K-pop group is, because it was quite obvious it was a K-pop group, because where else are you going to see a group of men with blue and green hair? And eventually one day I was standing in her room and we were talking, and then I just turned to her and like, who is this K-pop group? And she said it was BTS. And then I asked her if she could introduce me to K-pop, because I failed so many years ago. And yeah, and then she did. And now here we are. And she also collects, by the way. She doesn't have a YouTube, but she does have an Instagram. So I'll put it down here if you want to check her out. So yeah, that's how I got into K-pop. And now, so I bought a new binder for honeybunn because this one's it's full. It's much too full. And I'll be starting that one with Romance Untold. So let's take all these out. I'm sorry if you hear any weird noises. I have a cat doing somersaults next to me. Yeah, there might be some weird cuts in this video because when I'm out here and talking, the cats like to show off. Here's the new binder I bought for honeybunn. It's just white and it's another 2-inch. Okay, and the next question is, when did you start to collect and trade? How long have you been collecting? I started collecting soon after I got into K-pop. It was 2020 when I properly learned what K-pop was, and then by the next year I started collecting, and me and my roommates, because we were all into K-pop, we started a joint trading account. So that was sometime in 2021. So that means I've been collecting for almost 3 years now. I can't remember exactly when I bought my first photo card, but it was definitely within the first half of 2021. Okay, cute. Look how much space I have. That's good. This will last at least a bit, I hope. And I think Romance Untold is fine, but I wanted to rearrange Daydream a little. So there's 9 cards. There's 2 of these. 2 for this version of the album, 2 of this version of the album, the Weavers cards, and then the Japan edition. And I kind of wanted the 2 Polaroids to be here, I think. So if I did that, I can put the Japan edition and then the Weavers cards with the Polaroid in the middle. Actually, maybe I want it that way. So then the card in this version can be here and the one in this version can be here. And the next question is artists you like that aren't K-pop. I feel like I listen to a lot of music, like within K-pop and then non-K-pop music, but some of my favorite groups are Glass Animals, Wallows, and Joe are probably my top 3 ults in K-pop terms. I think that was it for this. Oh, wait, I do have one more thing. I made this the other week, or a couple weeks ago now, but I wanted it to be like a binder cover for the new binder, but unfortunately the paper is too small to like fully fill up the entire cover. But also I think I could put it like maybe here in a 1 pocket. I don't have any of those right now, so I'll just stick it in the cover. I'm not sure if I like it. You know how sometimes when you stare at something for hours, you don't really know what it looks like anymore. So yeah, I don't know, but I made it. Okay, so now let's get into the girl group. Okay, we have quite a bit to do in this binder, and I'll try to be somewhat fast. I don't want this video to be too long. I kind of want to get this video up by the weekend, and so I don't want to spend too much time editing. Okay, so this will be a full page. And I kind of separated the questions into like questions about me, YouTube questions, and then collection questions. But a question I did forget was someone asked favorite song from each group you collect, which is a very hard question because if I collect that group, it means I enjoy their music. So that's a very difficult question. But since I forgot Enhypen while we were in those binders, my favorite Enhypen song, probably Moonstruck right now. My like favorite song changes pretty frequently. And my favorite song for ITZY, definitely Imaginary Friends, which I think is a very popular answer. But this album was so good. I loved it so much. And I really need to get my act together and start buying these cards. And I forgot my box of fillers, so I'll fill these up I'll fill these up on my own time. And that's it for ITZY and aespa. I also need to catch up and buy these cards. But my favorite aespa song, I don't know. Honestly, I really like aespa's music. They're also like my go-to workout playlist. Maybe Salty and Sweet. Yes. Okay, I think that's all for aespa. Nothing for Stacy. Nothing for Is. And then, so all these cards need to come out, and I think I'll answer a couple questions, and then maybe I'll time lapse it. And I have some questions about YouTube specifically. And the first one is, what do you use to film your videos? It's just my phone. I have an iPhone 11 Pro, and honestly, it's not the worst thing to take videos on. Which brings us to the next question of, what do you use to edit your videos? I use a program called Velo, I think is how it's pronounced. It's VLLO. And honestly, I really like it. It's quite beginner friendly and simple enough, which is good for me because I'm not very good with like computer programs. But yeah, I do like that it's not overly complicated while still capable of doing everything I need it to do. So yeah, highly recommend. Okay, here are all my Rocket Punch cards, and it's a lot more than I thought I had. That's quite a stack. But this is the binder I bought to move these cards into. And I'm pretty sure there's enough pages for them all to fit. I think I counted once. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's super cute. I apologize in advance if I move out of frame at any point. A little difficult to hold still. And for the next question, how long do you hold onto your photo cards before storing them? I don't know. I don't think I've ever like kept track of that. but on average, I think it's about like at least a month and a half, sometimes 2. I think it mostly depends on like when my Neo Kill box arrives, because I feel like that's where the majority of my cards come from. But also it depends, because sometimes I hold on to my cards for longer. Like even if I have them, I won't include them in the next storing video. Like if I only have 2 cards for a group or a collection, I hold on to them until I have more. But mostly I just wait until I have enough cards to film a video, because I like to have at least like 200-ish cards, maybe more or less. And honestly, I think the next storing video might be a little late. Well, it kind of depends. Some cards that I have now can't be stored until I film a different video. Honestly, I should just film that video like right after I have this one up, but I don't know. It's already like a little late for my next storing photo cards video, because I'd like to have one of those up at least. Like I try to have those up like once a month-ish, a little more, just because it takes a while for me to get my cards. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, and that's all my cards with one more space. And I did buy one final Yunnie card, and then this will be completely full and done. Okay, back in the girl group binder, and we're gonna start with a question. Are you thinking about expanding your collection even further? So the answer is yes. So I will be collecting Eyelet. I've bought several cards so far, and hopefully they make it to me in time for the next storing photo cards video. Yeah, I won't tell you who I'm collecting. You can guess if you want. You won't win anything, but other than the satisfaction of being right. But yeah, let's put these fillers in these pages. There's some other collections that I've been thinking about starting and expanding, but I haven't really made up my mind on those yet. And for collections I already have, there's a couple that I want to expand on. Like, I think I've said this before, I do want to expand my Espa collection, but I haven't really bought anything yet, so it's still just a thought. And for a similar question, an idol you really want to collect someday. And if I could collect any idol, I would collect Sunghan from Rise. However, Sunghan is no longer in Rise, and I don't live in the alternate universe where he is still in Rise, so it probably will not happen. But yeah, if I could collect anyone, it would be him, and I would put him back in Rise. But a more realistic answer that is possible is I kind of want to collect One Pact, and my bias is Jungwoo, and because when I watched Boys Planet, he was one of my picks throughout like all of Boys Planet. So I was really happy when he debuted with One Pact, and then I never collected him. I'm not sure why. I think I was just like not financially able to when One Pact debuted. And then I kind of forgot about it, but I've been really enjoying their music. And I've kind of been thinking about collecting him, but I'm not sure. It kind of feels like a bit of a commitment. I don't know why, because their cards are really cheap. And I would know because I go on to Pokemon Market for fun, and then I kind of just look at his cards and like pretend that those are like I own those cards maybe. And he does have like really cute cards, but I don't know. I'm not very good at like selective collecting. If I collect everything. And I don't know why collecting One Pack makes me nervous. Like, how doable is it? It doesn't look hard, but I don't know. But I think that's the only collection that I'm like kind of contemplating starting, other than Eyelid, of course. And I don't think I have anything for Luna Lucemble. No, I think I've already set up. Yeah. So let's get into the next binder. Okay, next binder is the Billy Unmixed binder, but I have nothing to do for Billy right now. But I do have a lot for Unmix. So every time I buy more pops and lucky draws, I kind of like rearrange this binder because I don't like set up to collect anything. I just rearrange as I get stuff. And I've already done the rearranging for this, but I haven't put the fillers in. I missed one of the more like YouTube related questions, so let me go back to that. And it is having a YouTube channel stressful? No, not really, especially because I don't really have like a YouTube schedule. I have kind of like an idea of like when I want to put videos up, what videos I want to put up, but I'm not really strict on myself with it. And I don't want it to be stressful, because I think the moment something becomes stressful, it loses its fun, and I want to keep this fun and just like a hobby for me. I don't want it to ever grow into something that's like really serious. But yeah, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, that would be my advice, just to like not make it something you stress about. Do what you want to do and keep it something that you enjoy doing. But back to the collection questions. Someone asked what my favorite collection was. And honestly, I think my favorite collection right now is this, my Solyun collection, just because I'm really proud of it. I really like her cards. And I do keep it like a low stress collection because I'm not setting up to collect any of these cards. I only like set up once I have the cards secured, which has like really helped because NMAX does have a ton of cards, and doing it like this keeps the pressure off of like wanting to collect everything. Okay, my camera died, but I'm back, and I don't know if I was talking about anything, but I'll just continue with the questions, I guess. So what haven't I answered? What is your biggest collection? Definitely in Hyphen, like as a group, and then if I don't have the most photo cards for Jake, that would be really surprising. Not that I've counted, but I think it's safe to assume that I own more Jake photo cards than any other collection of mine. And while I was waiting for my phone to charge, I was looking over the footage that I had, and it's turning out to be a lot longer than I anticipated, so I'm gonna try to speed this up a bit. And I might end the video after this binder. So next question, do you plan to downsize any of your collections in the future? Yes, at this point, I don't have any specific collections that I'm planning on downsizing anytime soon, but I'm always like open to downsizing or expanding. It really just depends on like how I feel at that moment and like if I'm satisfied with that collection or not. Because I really don't have a problem with downsizing. I feel like once I get in my mind that I'm not enjoying a certain collection as much as I should be, then I really have no problem downsizing. And someone asked what my favorite photo card is, and I've been thinking about this question since it was asked because I really don't know. It's hard to choose just one single photo card, but I've been thinking about it. And I really like this photo card just because I like whenever she draws the bunny ears and the deer antlers, because I think it's really cute. And she does it also in this card here. And I really like jackalopes. They're like my favorite not real animals. So whenever she draws the bunny ears and the antlers, it reminds me of them. And I think it's really cute. But another one of my favorite photo cards, I just received Jake's birthday paper merch thing in the mail, and I thought this card was really cute. He's recreating a baby photo of his. This one's really cute. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I wanted to pull it out. But I've also recently bought some like really exciting Jake photo cards, and those are also contenders for like favorite photo card ever. And I'm really excited to get those on hand and put them away. But I think that's it that I needed to set up for. But I wanted to do one more thing in this binder. So let's go to the front. I had bought these hollow bunny sleeves from K-pop Stationery, and initially I wanted to re-sleeve all the cards in this binder in these, but I think I only bought 100 of these sleeves, and I severely underestimated how many cards are in here, which I'm not sure how I logically thought I only had 100 photo cards, but I didn't want to let these go to waste because they're really cute. So I was thinking about sleeving any of their like bunny photo cards because both of them have quite a bit. And I don't know, it might look weird, but it also might look cute. So I'll do this and answer the last couple questions we have. So our next question is, do you think you'll ever stop collecting? And yes, I hope so. I feel like eventually it might become like too hard to keep up with all these groups, or my priorities will shift to where collecting won't be such a priority for me in terms of like I don't think I'll ever like stop listening to K-pop or become fully unengaged with it, but I do think collecting will stop being something I spend so much time and money on, or I'll just be like really selective about the groups I collect. And I haven't been paying attention actually. So this one needs to be sleeved. But yeah, as far as collecting right now, I'm still like, I do still enjoy it. I have fun. I think it's definitely becoming harder to enjoy. The amount of cards that groups release, and like it's not the easiest thing to find the cards sometimes, and I feel like trading is getting harder to do. I don't know if it's just there's less people collecting, or it's harder to find trades. Like I feel like I do a lot more buying than trading. And it used to be easier to trade than it is now. But yeah, I can't imagine I'll stop collecting anytime soon, but it is something I think will happen. I think my goal is to only collect a couple groups, or maybe just and continue to selectively collect them, but I don't feel the need to do that yet. I enjoy having a big collection. I find that fun, and once that stops being fun, I can reevaluate what I'm doing and change my collections accordingly to where I still enjoy them. I feel like I've been missing a lot of cards, but that's okay. When I see them, I can put the sleeves on. I don't know what's supposed to go here. Okay. Okay, so we have one more question, and then I think I will stop, even though I could keep going. There's still a lot more I need to do for my binders. I don't want this video to be too long. But the last question is, do you have any other collections other than photo cards? So I've always been a collector. I feel like I've always collected something throughout my life. When I was like 5, 6 years old, I collected Pokemon cards. So maybe that explains this. I was primed from an early age to enjoy collecting pieces of paper and putting them away in binders. But I don't collect Pokemon cards anymore. But I'm not sure how to answer this, because what makes something a collection and not just I own a lot of something? Like, I feel like it's just intent. Are you intentionally buying these things to have a collection of them? Because if it's like that, I feel like photo cards is the only thing I collect. However, I do own like a lot of books. Am I intentionally buying books to have like a large collection? Well, okay, I guess that answers it. So yeah, okay, I collect books somewhat. I definitely don't own like hundreds of books just because I don't have the space for that. But I do read a lot, and I feel like I have a constantly rotating collection of books, because since I don't have the space for it, I read books, and then if I like them, I keep them. I find a way to store them, and if I don't like them enough, I donate them. I guess I'll sleeve this one too, since Kurumi is a bunny. But what else? Things I've collected in the past. I used to like intentionally collect nail polish, and now I've kind of stopped doing that just because I own so much nail polish. And I won't sleeve that because I think that'll be a lot going on. And is that it? But I've also like collected, not seriously, like I never had like a huge collection of them, but like little like figurines. I would buy the Tokidoki Unicorno series a lot. But again, not anymore, because all my money is going to paper. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. That's all the questions, and I think that's all I will do for this video. I might do more of these in the future, maybe, if I ever have enough to talk about. So my next video will either be a storing photo cards video or something else that I've been planning to do for a while, and I just haven't had the time to film it yet. But that would be another speaking video, and I kind of don't want to have two of those back to back, but also I don't think I have enough photo cards to film a storing photo cards video yet, so I guess we will see what I do. But anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.